All right. Hi, I'm Debbie,
And I'm Audrey.
and we are the
Question
Question
Queens.
Queen.
Yeah, I can't get with you on that rhythm. I'm not feeling that rhythm there.
We're the Question Queens, and thank you so
Question
much for
Queens.
joining us. We are having a horrible time, actually. We have no idea what we're doing, and all of this technology, and I'm actually pretty much a nerd, but it's been a lot. So if we ever get everything worked out, heck, if it was easy, everybody would do it. But it seems
That's right.
seems
That's
like it
exactly
should
right.
be easy, don't you think?
That's right.
Easier. But anyway, we are going to do something that is so cool. I'm so excited. It's called Question Rapid Succession. So we are going to ask the master of the win-win situation, Miss Poppy,
Mm-hmm.
questions. She has no idea what these questions are.
No.
Do you? No. And we're both honest. We would tell you. She does not. And does that matter? Does that make it more honest? Because I said I'm
I
honest.
don't know. That's exactly what a liar would say. So I don't know that matters.
Yeah. Well, anyway, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button and share it with your friends. And if you have a question for us, you can send it to us at ask@thequestionqueens.com. Okay. Last question for the question. Okay, I'm stopping. All right. Are you ready, Poppy?
I'm ready.
Are you ready, Poppy?
I'm ready.
I'm so ready. All right. My 13-year-old won't go to school. What do I do? Oh. I couldn't wait to see your face in that reaction after I said it. Okay.
That's a tough one. It depends on the kid for real. Some parents have had success with that going with them. You have to make them. I
So
mean, that's the bottom
physically,
line. So you just got to figure out what works for them. My boys were more easily embarrassed than me. So the thought that I was going to show up there was usually enough to get them in line.
yeah, well,
But,
that makes sense.
the younger, wilder one, man, he was way smarter than me. So as he got older, he tricked me out of a lot of stuff. I think he
I
kind
think
of.
that's what I would do if one of the girls ever said they were not going to school. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean,
Well, and you ain't going to just lay around my house all day. I mean, from the
I
time
would
my
jerk
boys
them
were
by the
little.
hair. Yeah, I would jerk
Yeah.
them by the hair and put them in the car. You are going to school, and I will
Yeah.
go in there with you. And
You might go right out the back door, but I'm gonna sit right here till you go in the front door. And then when
I
they call
wonder,
me and say that you didn't stay, tomorrow I'm burning a vacation day and I'm staying with you
I'll stay with you all day long. Yeah,
all day long.
especially a 13-year-old. And
Yes, because it ain't gonna get easier.
well, and then on the flip side, there's got to be a reason.
And
I'm not
that's you
saying
gotta
being, kids go through and they say all kinds of things, but there's also might be a really good reason why they're not like being so forceful. And I don't know, maybe they're just being a jerk. Maybe there's a problem.
well, and that's what I say, you gotta know your kid and take into account what their personality is, because maybe they're being bullied, maybe they did something really dumb and they can't face going
Right.
back in there.
Yeah, that's true. It could
I
happen.
mean,
Okay.
that
And
happens.
if this has happened to any of you all, or if you have any kind of stories that you want to share, make sure you leave comments and let us know. Okay, next question.
Okay.
I don't want children at my wedding. What should I do?
I think you can say that.
Do you really?
Yes, I think you
so
should be able to
too.
say that.
How
Every
can you
party
say
is
it?
not for everybody.
That's true. Well,
And so you
I
can't,
think,
now you got to be okay with people saying that I'm not coming.
oh, that's true. Yeah. I mean,
And if
a lot
you're
of times
okay with
I have a
that,
babysitter.
I mean, at my sister's wedding, we paid to have like a babysitter. She got married in a regular old church that had a nice nursery, and we paid somebody to sit up there with the kids.
Right. Well, I think honestly, that's what I was going to suggest. Maybe even having somewhere have like a childcare area for the wedding. If
Right.
you've got a family that's got a lot of kids and you really don't want those interruptions, that's what I mean, that's going above and beyond. I think it's perfectly fine to put it on the invitation. You know, children are, it's requested that no children attend, but that doesn't mean
Or
that
this
children
is an
aren't gonna
adults only
attend.
event. I mean,
Who-
I mean, if
who
you have
not
it in the
listen.
evening and you say this is an adults only event,
Yeah, my nephew had he had a dinner and he didn't want kids there. I think that's perfectly within their right, you
I
know,
think so too.
especially, you know, you don't want all that interruption. That's
And
your
even if you go
day.
the providing a nursery kind of route, you might have somebody that says, oh no, he doesn't want to go up there. Well, then you both got to leave and you got to have somebody. I mean, you hate to think you'd have to have bouncers at your wedding,
You'd have to
but
have a
if you
kid
have
bouncer.
rules, you have to have a bouncer.
Kid bouncer. Oh my gosh, yeah, that would, I could do that sometimes, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and like
Yeah.
some churches have those crying rooms. We're like, oh, well, you and your kid need to go to the crying room then. You're gonna watch
Actually,
it from
that'd be
there.
great because you know what? A lot of churches have those where they can still watch the wedding, but then the kids aren't heard. Okay,
Right.
if you all have had any of those situations, did you have kids at your wedding? You know, leave a comment, let us know. All right, next question. I love this, by the way. Okay. What is an appropriate bedtime for a 17-year-old?
Ugh. Depends on if they get up and go to school next day.
I mean, I was thinking the same thing. If they're doing everything they're supposed to do, but they stay up till 11 or 12 o'clock at night or whatever, and they're watching, you know, playing video games, but they're still getting good grades, they're still doing whatever is
Mhm.
expected of them. I'd say they're already, you know, that's the part where you've got to let them go to see who they are
Mhm.
and then kind of manage that a little bit, not so much force all the force all the boundaries and make them fit. They're already almost like kind of an adult or young
Yeah,
adult.
I mean, I wish I would have done better about bedtime routines with my boys, but for sure, I went to bed before they did most nights.
Yeah.
To
I would have had
enforce a
to.
bedtime, you got to stay up till they're asleep.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, my stepdad said, it ain't about you, it's about me. I don't want you bothering me. So stay up if you want to, but go in your room, shut the door, and don't get out of that bed till morning.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't have done that because your stepdad's scared. You know, he's a little scary.
He's a different kind of guy. You know,
He is.
I'm not saying there's one answer.
It's so funny that the like the scary people, my grandma, oh my gosh, I was terrified of doing anything wrong with her. But she never put a hand on us ever. But if she went, I mean, we jumped. You didn't do
Well,
anything wrong, but it's amazing. I guess it just goes with how much you respect the person.
and
Or-
how much energy they have for enforcing the rules.
True. Yeah, that's true.
Because that's the thing with my mom and my stepdad is they have unlimited energy to enforce their rules.
I never had,
Me
yeah,
neither.
I never had any problems with the girls going to bed. But you know, when they got older and out of school and still lived at home, I didn't care what they did.
Right.
But
Well, you know,
if
it
I
just
was
depends.
going-
Again, it depends on the kid.
it
Austin,
does depend on the kid.
Austin, my oldest boy was great about you lay him down and then you tell him to go to bed, you put a movie on, he'll be asleep in 25 minutes. That little one, he'd stay up all night. He would
Well, I
stay up
think
all night
everybody's
long.
different.
He was
I mean,
different.
Madison was up with the birds and Allie would stay up super late. But all right. Okay. So, and again, if y'all have any questions or if you have any experience in that or any problems, definitely leave us a comment. And then the next
I definitely got to
question,
leave on saying that a bedtime routine is better.
I'd say it's definitely
It's
better.
definitely better to have a bedtime routine than to not have a bedtime routine.
Well, also, I think I always got yelled at by my mom because I explained everything, but I went into, you know, why sleep is important. Why do you have to get that much sleep? So I know it's probably way too much on this question, but that's what I
Yeah.
would have done. And I would have probably driven him crazy just by talking about it. So like, okay, whatever, I'll go to bed at whatever time you want.
Yeah.
Stop talking. Which is fine too. You know, hey,
Mhm.
that works. Okay. This one is a tough one. My daughter's been crying because no one asked her to the prom. What do I do? That is a tough one. That broke my heart when I read that question.
I know.
It really is tough. I mean, you can't,
Change schools. Gonna say
I mean, you can only control what you can control.
that's exactly right. And you have to, break out the old ugly duckling story and just say, every dog's got his day.
Yeah.
People are gonna peak at different times. This ain't your time. And there's
I think what I would do is talk about, Cinderella. Everybody loves the Cinderella story and how she meets Prince Charming, but think about how long she had to go before she actually met him. And
Right.
she's still in that time. So I would tell her Cinderella just didn't wake up and it's all there. She had to go through a lot of times where there was nobody that she met and life was not what she expected. She had a pretty tough life. So things will happen. You will meet someone. It's just when it's the right time. And then offer to try to find her a date for the prom.
Well, and again, it
maybe just
depends on the
girls.
kid. If it's that she doesn't really have any interest in boys until it's time for the dance and then she didn't get invited, you got to put yourself out there if you want to be
Right.
invited. And maybe you need to invite somebody else. There's probably boys not going to. Or go with a girlfriend if you're, that was usually my answer. I don't remember people asking me to dances. I just went.
I always had dates, but the girls, there was one time where all the girls got together and went together instead of having dates. So usually there's a group, but that's just a tough one. I think.
And it's a changing dynamic even more and more now. So
it is.
it's
And maybe
definitely,
offer them, if they don't want to go to the prom, maybe offer them something really super special that night. So it'll take their mind off of it.
right. Yeah. I mean, you've got, that's an example of a good win-win situation is you got to get down to the core of what is it that you want. If you want boys to like you and want to take you places, boys are attracted to shiny, sparkly things. You might have to, throw out some bait. If what you really want is to be included with the group, then going with girlfriends might be fine.
Yeah, it might. And it just depends. It depends on if.
Yeah, it's tough. It depends on the kid. And that's one of the things that always worried me as a mom is that sometimes you hit them with tough love and sometimes you just need to hold them and let them cry. And it's so easy to make the wrong choice.
Yeah. I mean, I've had 2 girls, I've raised them, and I can't even tell you how many times that it's very tough. And on top of that, she might want to go ask a boy herself.
She might.
She doesn't have to wait around for a boy to ask her. It is perfectly fine. It's such an old tradition, and not that I'm dissing traditions. I love some of them.
I love traditions, but
look, perfectly fine for you to go ask a boy. Go find the boy that you want to go out with. The one that doesn't have a date, the one that no one's talking to, because he feels exactly like you do. Go find him. Ask him out. Make him happy, and you'll be happy as well. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is that you got to figure out what it is that's really upsetting and where the disconnect is.
Yeah. Okay, so next question. And this is my last one.
Okay.
My last one. My 7-year-old isn't. Do that again. My 7-year-old isn't grateful for the gifts that she gets. What do I do?
Take him away. Then you get no gifts.
I think now this is going to take a lot of deep thought, okay? And a different way of looking at things. If I gave you a blue rock and you didn't really like the blue rock and didn't want the blue rock, why would I want to force you to be excited and happy about the blue rock? Can you be respectful? Like, thank you for the present. Yep. But do you have to be happy about it? Why are we trying to force our kids to feel, or not really feel, to present a feeling that's socially acceptable because they don't like something that they got. Why?
Well, and again, it depends on what are we really asking here. Is that if we want the child to feel gratitude, they might need to go without. It might be,
What if they just don't like it?
and that should be okay, but they should be respectful in the moment. You should appreciate that people gave you something, and you
I
should
think-
say thank you, and then you never have to
agree.
touch it again.
I think focusing on teaching your child to be respectful to whoever's giving the present. I mean, if they're a brat and they get I don't want that. Now that's totally different. I'm not talking about that. If they get a present and they just go, no, thank you. I mean, that's not very nice. But to a kid, they don't know. And if they're saying no, thank you, that's their honesty coming through.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the situation. Like I'm picturing the birthday parties where you're sitting up there, all eyes on you, and you're opening present after present. You need to say, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you. And then play with it or don't, give it away, you know.
I agree with you.
But if in everyday life, the child is just ungrateful,
Right.
that means they're getting too much stuff.
Yeah, and I think honestly, like what you said, depends on the child, but I think forcing a child to give a different response than what they truly feel, teach them respect, teach them gratitude in their actions. Just because they got a gift, they don't necessarily have to attach their gratitude and their respect to how they feel about the actual gift.
And that's on the parent, whoever's putting on the party, to set the stage for that. This is not about you getting all your hopes and dreams fulfilled. This is about people that love you and care about you coming to celebrate a happy time with you. And so you can be grateful for that regardless of what the gifts are.
Just you making that statement right there. How many children do you think actually get told what you just said?
Right. Not very many.
Not very many.
Because we're too busy putting up streamers and blowing up balloons.
And giving them everything.
And giving them everything. And
I mean, you know me and my grandkids, well, now we call them grandma surprises. And I have a gift for them every time I see them. I just do.
Mm-hmm.
I have 4 grandkids and they think I'm a magical princess. I'm gonna freaking give them stuff. They are happy with everything I give them. I mean, everything. And they always say thank you. But there's been times where, you know, Chloe wanted something different than what I got her, you know, but she was still, thank you, grandma. And it wasn't.
Statistically, one of them is going to break your heart on that eventually. But right now, they're still little and sweet, and that's good.
They are little and sweet. Okay. Well, anyway, so that was a lot of great topics, and thanks again for joining us, and thanks for watching the whole video. Make sure you subscribe. I'm sorry, I'm always figuring out what you can't. I'm looking at her, and then I see me, and then I'm supposed to look up here. Anyway, so make sure you subscribe to our channel, and for those of you that already have, thank you so much, and hit the like button and share this with your friends. And we'll see you real soon. Bye.
Bye.